Norman Bollard, who was an American economist, said that without food, man can live at most but a few weeks. Without it, all other components of social justice are meaningless. When the climate is changing, people deal with many food problems. How does Vietnam feed 100 million people by 2020? How do we face with natural disaster to maintain our food security? Are there any new directions for ensuring food security in Vietnam? Are these new methods beneficial? With the efforts of these people, Group 9. We will get on the answers of the questions. So, let's enjoy!
What is food security? Food security means having daily access to enough nutrient food to live an active and healthy life. There are 4 dimensions of food security are availability, utilization, access, and stability. Food security is the global problem. However, in this video, I want to have you to know detail this problem in Vietnam. Vietnamese government always pay attention to the agriculture. So, how about the food production and food security in Vietnam? Vietnam reached the 64.9 point, ranked the 54 out of 130 countries in the world, and ranked 4 in the Southeast Asia in the Global Food Security Index in the 2019. Vietnam is considered as a country with great potential for agriculture. It has 7 million hectares for rice cultivation and million hectares for vegetable, fruit tree, coffee, rubber, pepper, and many animals such as the cow, duck, and pig. The most important source to access food is the food market. For more than 30 years of renovation, Vietnam food markets have been constantly evolving. With the active support of the state, the infrastructure of economy in general and the food market in particular, such as the road, the airport, and the port, have been expanded and modernized. Communication system is growing. System of warehouse, food shop, market, supermarket were built throughout the country, so people easy to buy food.
Food production also plays a significant role in food security in Vietnam. Food supplies come from planting rice, catching seafood, growing fruit trees, etc. However, the food supply is limited by nature. Natural threats are increasing more clearly, causing considerable damage to food production in Vietnam. The first threat comes from saltwater intrusion. When water level is lower, it causes saltwater to be drawn toward the freshwater zone of the aquifer. The intruding saltwater decreases the freshwater storage in the aquifer. This saline water cannot be used for agriculture. In Vietnam, by the end of 2019, saline waters had reached from 50 to 94 km deep into the Mekong Delta, higher than the average of many years from 20 to 35 km. It leads to a severe lack of fresh water, badly affect the agricultural land. The leaves are wither, food and bright crops are unable to grow. Floods are also a common threat in Vietnam. Flood in Vietnam are caused by heavy storm, high tide, or river delta adjacent to the sea. The consequences of flooding include lost farmland, reduction in agricultural productivity, cattle and poultry being swept away. Hail is also the natural threat to food production in Vietnam. It usually occurs in the mountainous area or area adjacent to the sea, specifically northwest Vietnam. Many agricultural products are buried. The damage cannot be estimated. Besides nature, humans have significant impact to food production in Vietnam. Water pollution is no stranger to the Vietnamese people. Vietnam ranks fourth in the world about discharging of plastic waste to the ocean. The ocean is the habitat of aquatic species. When water sources are heavily polluted, aquatic species cannot grow or even be poisoned and dead. Vietnam is one of the countries using plant protection products too much. These products are helpful for preventing harmful organisms to protect crops. However, excessive use of plant protection products has led to consequences. For example, drought residue on crop, soil pollution, and water pollution. As a result, plants cannot grow up, even die so much, and neither do fish, which are harmful for food production. Moreover, deforestation in Vietnam is a serious problem. According to the Vietnam Administration of Forestry, up to September 2017, the deforested areas were 155.68 hectares, and the burnt forest areas were 5,364.85 hectares. Deforestation is the cause of climate change, flood, resulting in damaging crops, killing many cattle and poultry.
In Vietnam, from the nation to the local area, people are taking many urgent actions to ensure the food security against the negative effects of natural disasters and human activities. Based on these advantages of an agricultural country, Vietnamese government promotes the domestic agricultural production. They eliminate the old agricultural cooperatives where the rights of the farmers do not meet the wishes, and then launching a new model of agricultural cooperatives. In the new model, farmers directly manage their means of production. The rights of each member are clearly published. We will come to the farm of Tiền Lệ Self-Vegetables Cooperatives in Hanoi. Currently has 33 hectares of growing vegetables. With this area, the cooperatives harvest more than 60 tons of vegetables per day. By the local efforts, the local government knows the trends of their local agriculture, and then from the areas of specialty agriculture to enrich the productivities. Currently in the Mekong deltas of Vietnam, there are special agricultural areas such as the rice farming in Đồng Tháp and the catfish farming in Cần Thơ and An Giang. Vietnam's next action in ensuring food security is the application of high technology in science and agricultural production. The government has enabled farmers to use automatic equipment to reduce the labor and improve the farming management. They organize the contest for scientific and technical related products for agriculture. In many universities in Vietnam, students have an opportunity to research about the genetically modified crops to help the farmers increase the agricultural quantities and avoid the farming risk. In the Mekong Delta, farmers grow the short-term rice variety. It has a growing time of only 90 days, so the farmers can grow the third crops within the areas of over 600,000 hectares and an additional productivity of 3 million tons per year. We all know that agriculture is directly affected by climate change. To ensure food security, the government has made efforts to step up climate-friendly agricultural production, such as minimizing the risk of disaster by building dikes, dams, canals, and ditches. They also reduce the farming contribution to climate change by developing the climate-friendly agriculture models, which reduce the use of fertilizers, chemicals, and gas emission. Quảng Trị province, for example, currently have 500 hectares of land for organic agriculture. Although facing many difficulties due to natural disasters and epidemics, the yields of fed rice reaches from 50 to 55 quintal per hectare.
When we talk about organic, it means that food is produced without the use of chemical fertilizer, pesticides, or any sort of artificial things. It's generated using some living matter like carbon, microorganisms from manure using earthworm. By a crude definition, organic food is grown by farmers using techniques that foster cycling of resources and promote ecological balance. According to the research about sustainable agriculture in Vietnam, Vietnam is one of the biggest organic food producers in agriculture. Due to the Vietnamese are more concerned about safe and high quality agricultural food products. This is the chart showing Vietnam has reached the top 10 countries with the largest organic farming area in Asia with over 43,000 hectares, nearly 3,000 agricultural producers. People buy organic food as they want the product to be free of carcinogens that are generally used in conventional food production. Therefore, the growing market share of organic products is a great opportunity for agricultural producers to shift their agriculture from conventional to organic system to export the products to many countries. Besides promoting health for humans and the environment, organic farming can also increase income for farmers due to the higher price of organic products compared to ordinary agricultural products. However, the advancement in organic farming in Vietnam is a little slow, has not developed rapidly, although it has spread in some provinces, and that could affect the long-term development in these sectors. This chart showing the compared to the total area of arable land in Vietnam, the area of organic farming and breeding is still very muted, wild and natural land. Besides the organic farming, the other ways that can be implemented to improve food security in Vietnam are as follows. Firstly, Vietnam increase and secure the production of rice in the domestic market to ensure people's living needs because rice has been a strategic crop in Vietnam food security for a long time. In addition, rice export can be enhanced through improving the trade balance and the income of farmers. Finally, industrial crops such as coffee, cashew, and fruit can provide greater stability and better value, allowing small-scale farmers to start escaping from poverty and have access to higher nutritious food. Regardless of the crop, the uncertainty of climate change presents a challenge for farmer success. To sum up, most of the organic products made in Vietnam are for export, and organic agriculture is a new and potential industry that also presents many challenges.
It's my turn to tell you the role of Vietnam in increasing food security in other countries. Sure, Vietnam is selling and transporting food overseas and assisting other countries to produce food by themselves. Mentioning Vietnam exporting, we are so familiar with rice, fruit, meat, and fish. Here is the first 15 countries that export
a huge amount of rice in the duration from 2010 to 2018. Obviously, Vietnam is in top 3 of this list, gaining more than $2 million annually by trading rice abroad. Although having the very similar climate to Vietnam, African countries have to import food each year. Vietnam believes Africa can grow very fast, so Vietnam accepts Mozambique, Benin, and Guinea, 3 countries of Africa, by sending 400 experts to help them translate and raise agricultural products for years. As a result, the rate of manufacturing crops, vegetables, and seafood is high. About the seafood, the Research Institute for Aquaculture in number 1 support the catch-fish tilapia farming in some African countries by training farmers with experts. This training also gained good results. As the institute, the potential of natural aquaculture in Africa is going to be declined, but the local people pay a lot of attention to freshwater and brackish water aquaculture. Also, the institute believes that it could be a great cooperation in aquaculture between Vietnam and African countries.